Tonight on the Chillstream, I take you down the rabbit hole, and we explore just what it means in light of everything that's going on. I'm going to show you that AI and deepfakes are nowhere near as good as they think they are, and we was kangs. What more could you possibly ask for? I'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Monday Night Chill Stream, Martin Luther King Jr. birthday edition. His name actually wasn't Martin Luther King Jr. His name was Michael King Jr. He never legally changed it, but we live in a world of crafted narratives, not and the truth. The truth, let me tell you, kids, is sometimes hard to come by. But it is, what is today? July 12th? Is it Monday, July 12th? I'm sorry, no, that's not the 12th. That was a Friday. Today's Monday, July 15th. Anyway, welcome to the show. If you're new here, one of the things we'd like to do to remind the newbies is to smash up the like button. If you've been around before, if you're a seasoned veteran, you know to smash up the like button. But for the noobs, we like to prompt them a little bit and get them to understand what it is that's going on. And man, is there a ton of stuff going on. Title of tonight's show, and I might jump back and forth. I'm probably going to jump back and forth just to not appear too, just to not to beat the horse to death. So jump back and forth and maybe make it seem more interesting, like more is actually going on with the show than it appears. So we might go touch on the topic and come back, whatever. Virgil Doc, Purple Heart, welcome to the show, sir. It is the MLK edition. Hopefully you slept in late and had some fried chicken or something appropriate to the holiday, maybe some E&J brandy. There's a lot out there. So this is, I don't know how big it was in the news, I guess somewhat big. On social media, it's all over the place. It's all over the place. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the tunnels underneath Chabad Lubavitch world headquarters in Brooklyn. So let me just remind you who Chabad is. This is President Obama meeting with Chabad Lubavitch in the Oval Office. Here is Donald Trump once again, surrounded by Chabad in the Oval Office. Here is also Chabad surrounding Vladimir Putin, whether he's the real Putin or the fake Putin or Putin number 2 or the imitation Putin with only 50% less communism inside him, and but all of the deception, I don't know. So that's who we're talking about. These people have access to all of the most powerful world leaders. They always meet with them at all times, and they have, I assure you, an agenda which the elected officials carry out, because the elected officials work for the Jews. They don't work for you. You get to vote for who your manager is, but at the end of the day, they're just here to manage you. They're not here to actually do anything that you think that they were elected to do. So let's go with let's go down the Rabbi hole. I got a video here. It's 2 minutes 20 seconds.
Why? Yo. Which is okay. It's not gonna help. They try to help. You could. The problem is both sides. Do they know? I don't know. Because there was a guy wanting to go out. They know. There was a guy wanting to go out. It says no already. I want to clear the whole shoe now. Oh, shoe? Why is that? They want to fix this tonight. They need the shoe cleared. And to... Why? We need to expensive something. Not like this. Department of Buildings. Not safe. We don't do that in America.
So there it is, the official report. Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters had a tunnel built through the cellar out to the sidewalk. You could see there was chairs in there. It's dirty. It's filthy. You go in underneath the altar or something like that. I don't know what they have in the synagogue. They in that little report when the letters flash on the screen or the text flashed on the screen, it's not clear what the tunnels were used for. And that the students went into the tunnels and wouldn't be removed because whatever. These are students with beards. You know what I mean? I don't know if you noticed the guy coming out from underneath the sidewalk had a fucking beard. That's a student. The guy's like 35 fucking years old. So what were they doing in those tunnels? There was a mattress in there. There was other stuff in there. There's clothes. You could see clothing, trousers and stuff on a railing in there. What were they doing in there, right? And next door to the world headquarters of Bitch was a ritual bath for Jewish women, which had been closed years ago. So those tunnels are where they take the kids to rape them. And, you can't rape kids in a synagogue because that's a sin. But if you have a tunnel between the synagogue and another building, technically, God can't see it or whatever. We're fooling God. We'll just go in this tunnel and do what we need to do. And that is the reality. These are the people that meet with Putin and Obama and anybody, anywhere, anytime they want. The Chabad sect of Judaism is the hand-picked sect of Judaism that the Rothschilds use as their intermediaries around the world to tell world leaders what to do and when to do it. I'm going to show you a similar video. This one's only half as long. This is 57 seconds, no sound. So just take a look at this. Remember, this is the most wealthy and powerful sect of Judaism in the world. This is what their world headquarters looks like. So largely the same video, but without this distracting sounds and the cuts that they used. You can see that it's like a freaking slum building. You know what I mean? You wonder why Jewish landlords are all slumlords. That's the way they live. That is the world headquarters of the wealthiest sect of Judaism on the planet. And that's how they keep it. You know what I mean? That is how they keep it. And they're more than willing to fight with the police at any time. And by the way, none of those guys are going to fucking Rikers Island. None of them is going to spend the next 3 days at Rikers. They were all arrested, and they'll all be released pending a hearing 6 months from now. They'll get a desk appearance ticket or some bullshit. All the charges of which will be dismissed down the road when something else is going on and no one's paying attention. But yeah, they had to put about 10 or 12 of them in cuffs and load them into a cell down at the fucking precinct house. But they're not going to Rikers. They're not being processed. They're not actually going to jail. We all know that, right? So that's how much power they have, because you don't jail the people who meet with Trump and Putin and Obama and Biden and all the rest of them. You don't put those people in jail. You just don't, right? Not if you want your job. Not if you want your job. But this is kind of blown up on social media, and it's important for the spin doctors to come in. It's important for the chosen people to decide what narrative is heard. And part of what to do that is by splitting things off into pulling you down various different rabbit holes. Here's one straight. This is a 35-second video. Straight out of Hollywood, right? They literally lifted the script, part of it, basically the script of can't remember what movie. They lifted the script of a Hollywood movie and applied it to this situation. Check it out.
We don't do that in America.
Says this extremely New York City cop after finding out about the underground Jew tunnels from multiple sources, one of them being from Twitter, where this guy said that he heard Yiddish being spoken below his apartment, which was at ground level, which isn't really possible unless you're Jewish and happen to be digging a tunnel. But one of the most important pieces of this story was when NYC detective Hans questioned one of the apartment tenants about Jews digging tunnels below his apartment, to which he was basically forced to confess that he was indeed indeed aiding them in their efforts and where to find them.
So Detective Hans. Wow, what a Teutonic sounding name. I doubt there's any detective named Hans anywhere at NYPD. But Detective Hans forced this Twitter user into admitting that he was hiding Jews underneath his floorboards. I don't remember what movie there was where they did that, but it was a movie not that long ago. I don't know if it was, I don't know which one it was. So they just took that and just there to Detective Hans of the NYPD, because the NYPD is really like a Gestapo. And once again, they're the victims. Once again, you should have sympathy for them, not for anyone else, right? So they went with the Hollywood movie plot line, and then they did another one also straight out of Hollywood. This one a little more creative. This one a little more lighthearted. This one's only 12 seconds, and they got some black guy to narrate.
What in the Jewish mutant ninja turtle, dreidels in the half shell, Torah power is going on here? Look at your man emerging from the sewer. Get out of my way.
So, right, the Ninja Turtles movie, ha ha ha. See, it's all a big joke. Look at how funny it is, right? And it has. You're not supposed to ask what the fuck was going on in those tunnels, right? Because if you do, you're going to be like Detective Hans of the Gestapo PD. Last video I got that relates directly to this, but this one is a more direct effort to take anyone looking for this content and direct them to literally turn the entire narrative around. This one's 1 minute and 2 seconds.
What is going on with the secret tunnel found under the Chabad headquarters in New York? Chabad is one of the largest Hasidic groups in Judaism, and just recently, in December 2023, Chabad discovered a tunnel that was secretly constructed by some of their students under their center in Brooklyn. This covert tunnel you are looking at now was dug without permits, risking the building's structural integrity. After Chabad was made aware of the damage caused by the men, the building administrators tried to repair the damage, which led the students to riot. Only then did the New York police get involved.
Why? You live too expensive.
But now, social media is buzzing with conspiracies about what the tunnels were intended for. For example, some claim the tunnels were connected to a children's museum, which was found not to be true. There are even allegations of child trafficking and other illicit activities going around. This is causing a huge wave of anti-Semitism online by those who are using the incident to promote hatred against Jews as a whole. As for the tunnel now, well, it seems they are already filling it with cement to close it off.
So you see, Goy, they're the real victims. Some conspiracy theorists were wrong. It was not connected to a child's museum. You're right, it was not connected to a child's museum, but little kids were dragged down there, and bad things fucking happened. And to pretend that that's not true is to live in a fucking in a bubble, and the idea that students, like Jewish students, were the wanted to dig a fucking tunnel, like really, like, oh, we wish we could be manual workers, we wish we could be blue collar guys, but our dads forced us to become the vice president of marketing of this multi-million-dollar fucking company, and all I do all day is count my fucking money. But oh, how I wish I had a fucking shovel and sweat on my brow and calluses on my fucking hands. Get the fuck out of here. But they found an articulate, Spanish-looking, brown-skinned person to take your attention and direct it towards the fact that it's the Jews who are the real victims here. You got to keep that in mind. They're the real victims, and they had no idea that there were tunnels underneath their main headquarters. They didn't know what the students were doing. These Jewish students with shovels, they can get away with this because their co-ethnics run the media, and if they really need to shut it down, they'll call whoever, Biden or whoever. So it's This is the world. This is the world you live in, and there's no way to fix it. There are people that think there's a way to fix it, and they think that this is it, right? So let me skip ahead. Let me just go. Let me skip ahead. This is what a lot of people, and this is pushed by the alphabet agencies who are all kind of active right now. They just like super activated a bunch of stuff. But I've seen this video a bunch of times. This video is from Europe. It's 25 seconds. And it's people taking a bad idea that has failed and trying to restart it. Here, check it out. Ooh, boy, scary techno music. Europeans walking in dark clothing quietly in the night, holding flowers. Oi! The rise of fascism in Italy again. Well, it didn't work last time, and it's not going to work this time. But a lot of people think it will. A lot of people have bad ideas. You don't understand why the previous one failed, and this one will fail because going backwards never creates a bright future. There's no going backwards. You know what I mean? There's absolutely no going back. You got to build something new. You got to build something positive. And being managed by social media, and trust me, there's a lot of things being managed. There's things being shown to you all the time, or pushed out all the time, and other things being scrubbed constantly. There used to be, if you hopped in the Wayback Machine and went back to like 2017, you could Google search the chimney at Auschwitz, right? Auschwitz-Birkenau, the famous camp. There was photos online of the chimney, which you see behind the building. But if you actually go behind the building, you see that the chimney is not attached to the building. Well, that photo's not there anymore. There used to be dozens of copies of this. It's scrubbed entirely from the internet. So you got marijuana legal everywhere, magic mushrooms everywhere, certain content being pushed in your face, other things being scrubbed. This is a recipe for a lot of bad things to happen to a lot of people who don't deserve it. Our friends, by the way, our friends down in Langley, Virginia, at the Bureau of Public Highways, have come up with a new buddy movie. You know what I mean? Which starring two people you might already know. They're teaming up the way Hollywood teams up two movie stars like Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Like what was his name? The one from Australia. And like the Lethal Weapon movies. It was I can't remember either one of those guys' names. Danny Glover and the white guy. How can I? Well, it's Martin Luther King, so I should remember the black guy's names. But for Christ's sake, Mel Gibson. Wow, took me a long time to get. But it's in that vein of famous buddies fighting the bad guys. This is the current version of it. The social media version of it, the low budget version of it, just requires a little copy pasta and some program that I don't have on my phone. But take a look at our old friend here.
The Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating the black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Look, it's the return of Catboy. Catboy and Andrew Tate. Coming together to do what? To do race war? To get the incels angry that black guys have white girlfriends or some shit like that, and get them hopefully to shoot up a shopping mall or a school or something, like a parade, or if they could just please, if you could just go out there and get a long black rifle and write on it with white letters, type up a manifesto and then go out and do a mass shooting, that'd be great because we really need to burn this Constitution thing. And now Catboy, whom we haven't seen since Kanye, when he was advising Kanye, he's cool with black dudes, right? He's cool with black dudes having white girlfriends. He's cool with whatever black dudes want. But now all of a sudden, he's going to make snarky remarks about some white girl who is black, right? And the whole thing's designed to to get race war going, or anything trending other than the tunnels underneath Chabad Lubavitch headquarters. Let's just push anything out there to split people's attention, to split. And listen, it's not like you can do anything. What are you going to do? Call your congressman? Call your senator? Nobody fucking gives a shit. And they're all owned fucking lock, stock, and barrel by them anyway. So, you have no power in the situation other than just to ride it out. You just have to ride it out, and that's what you have to do. There are other people who suffer, though, not just you. You think that you're the only one that suffers, but it will tell you that's not true. Everyone knows that I can't stand Elon Musk, but here's let's see what's going on with Elon these days. So that's, everyone's concerned about his drug use, right? So Elon's response is, where was it? He never wanted to be CEO of Tesla or anything. Running companies hurts my heart, but he sees no other way. You don't understand the pain of being the richest man on the face of the earth. You just don't understand the burdens that he has to bear, because he doesn't really want to have all that money. He doesn't really want to be the richest man in the world. Judas Fly Chai, base Persian Muslim guy. Hey Judas, welcome to the show. Happy Black Jesus Day, Black Communist Day. I got some good Black communist stuff. But Mr. Fly Chai, the news breaking out of New York City, you might want to consider converting to Islam. I don't know how cool Islam is with the weed smoking, but you might want to consider converting to another religion that doesn't eat pork and whatever is super strict with females, because your particular branch, or the branch you claim to belong to, kind of really showing their fucking asses, as they would say. It's really, really showing the world that this is not whom you want to be meeting with El Presidente at all. At all. So let me see. All right, we did Catboy. I'm looking at my notes right now. Where's that other thing? Where's my buddy? Oh, fucking. All right. So, Judas Fly Chai, I went to a schnitzel restaurant in honor of MLK Day. Well, that's good. Schnitzel is what is that? It's like noodles, right? That's good. Let's go high tech. Let's go to where this guy was in the news recently. This is the guy who's behind the most popular AI in the world, Sam Altman. He marries his partner, Oliver Mullarin. So, or maybe it's Oliver Moulignan. Maybe it's in honor of MLK Day. One of them, maybe the bride or groom, or the other groom will appear in blackface. I don't know. But it's not just AI, it's gay eye. So everything you see anywhere that says AI says this and AI says that, it's all It's literally gay propaganda. It's gay Jewish propaganda. And if you think about it at all, just think in the absolute fucking reverse. Just think in the complete and total reverse of whatever it is that AI tells you to do, and you will likely find yourself in a better state. So ETF launched last week. The price of Bitcoin dumped. Oh my God, it's terrible. What did I do? I do what I always do. I smashed up the fucking buy button. There's no way. There's nothing that will happen that will convince me to go back to saving my wealth in the paper promises of central bankers. I'm not saving my wealth in slavery coupons. That's not happening. You know what I mean? Jewish permission slips are not going to define the value of my life. Period. End of story. Have I ever had schnitzel? STFU. It is just German-style breaded chicken. It's like pizza in Israel, although Israelis eat pizza. Wiener Schnitzel. It's like a veal thing. There used to be a what the fuck was the name of there was one German restaurant at Staten Island. I went to it a couple of times, and I had Wiener Schnitzel, right, which is veal, which was breaded veal, and then it was with what they call Hunter's gravy. It was like a brown gravy with mushrooms, and then I guess it had some red cabbage and some other stuff. What was the name of the joint though? I can't remember. It was relatively famous because some wannabe wise guy killed an ATF agent near there, back in the 80s, and they made a crappy TV movie about him. Was it Gus Faraci? Yeah, Gus Faraci. And I still can't remember the name of it. I'm thinking of, there was a famous German joint in Manhattan that I never went to. I can't think of the one. Can't think of the one in Staten Island, which I actually did go to like twice. So go figure. How funny is that? But this was all a very, very, very long time ago, because I don't even live in Staten Island. Okay, I've only had chicken schnitzel, but veal is geschmack. I don't know what geschmack means. My Yiddish, I haven't really worked on the Yiddish thing a whole lot. So why can't you have veal? There's nothing wrong with veal as long as it doesn't. It's not pork, so you can have it. You could have it, unless you're trying to say that it's too expensive. Okay, but there's a lot of things that are going on that are not obvious. This chick, I remember I showed this chick one other time, and she did some stuff on Ireland. Love this. I love this video because this shows you that no matter what you think it's about, it's still always about money.
In the 1950s, the British began their second secret empire, one of finance. For centuries, the City of London had been extracting wealth from the British Empire, and this all came to rubble in the 1950s. Midland Bank, now part of HSBC, started taking secret dollar deposits, and the Bank of England turned a blind eye. A temporary indulgence blossomed into a full-term tolerance, and an unregulated dollar market then began to grow in England, the euro market, or the euro dollar market. The City of London, effectively a state within a city, has become an unregulated tax haven, and its tentacles have spread all to the fragments of the remaining British Empire in 14 overseas British territories. 7 of these are now tax havens. The City of London remains the centre of this criminalised, unregulated, unpoliced network of tax havens.
So the City of London, once again, the city built by the Rothschilds for the Rothschilds, in order to rule all of Europe and then eventually the world once they got the U.S. Federal Reserve. But yeah, when you hear English people cry, "Oh, America is evil," and they bankrupted us, and America did no such thing. You know what I mean? The people in the city of London bankrupted England, and then they traded all their crap, the British pounds, for US dollars and reinflated their fortunes. And there's other things they can do, but that was what they did, and now these tax havens around the world are just places where they go to spend all their ill-gotten gains, and they're still extracting wealth from the Brits from wherever they can get it. But that's not the worst of it. It can get a lot worse. It can get really, really, really bad. How bad can it get? Let's stay in Europe, and let's pop on over to Budapest, Hungary, and find out just how bad inflation can get.
Hyperinflation has occurred plenty of times throughout human history. There's 1920s Germany, more recently with Venezuela, and of course the infamous case of the $100 trillion banknote in Zimbabwe. But all of these examples pale in comparison to Hungarian penge. The penge started being used in Hungary in 1927, and things were fine for a while until Hungary found itself on the losing side of World War II, after which inflation began to skyrocket. And when I say skyrocket, I don't mean, oh, this was once worth $1, but now it's worth a cent. No, I mean they started counting their prices in Middelpenge or Bilpenge. I mean prices were tripling every single day. In July of 1946, the monthly inflation rate was 40 quadrillion %. 40 quadrillion. Do you have any idea how big that is? That's the equivalent of the total wealth of the entire United States of America being reduced to just a quarter and a dime in the span of a month. They tried to introduce something called the Ado penge, which they would try to ping to the penge to keep it at a fixed price, but that didn't work. In the span of just 6 months, the ratio between the two currencies went from 1 to 1 to 1 to 2 sextillion. At one point, they printed this monstrosity, the 100 quintillion penge note. This is far and away the highest denomination bill that human history has ever seen. It became pretty clear they just had to ditch that old currency, and so they came up with the forint, which they valued at a reasonable 400 octillion penge. Just to wrap your head around how massive that number is, if you took just 10 forint and converted them all to penge and stacked all those penge on top of each other, the top of that tower would reach the edge of the observable universe. Moral of the story, don't just print more money, it never works.
So how bad can it be if they let the money printer keep running? Pretty bad, pretty bad. There are recent historical examples, and what are we doing in America? We're doing that exact thing. We're just printing as much as we possibly can. And how do we do it, Jerome?
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did. We printed digitally, so.
We printed digitally. Hit the button, Jerome. So how many, when you listen to the kid talking about the Hungarian penge, like, how worthless can your money be? Can it go from $1 to a penny? It can go from $1,000 to a penny. It can go from $100,000 to a penny, right? If you follow the Hungarian model. And Hungary, everybody loves Hungary. Oh, it's the beautiful white supremacist state. By the way, they're the ones that put Richard Spencer in jail for disobeying their laws. So good for them for that, but that's kind of a symbolic act. Eastern Europe is still, their economy is shit, and they're trying not to join the EU, but because by joining the EU, they're going to have to promote global homo, and they don't want to do that. Hungary, Poland, etc. They don't want to go down the global homo route, but their economy's not doing so great. And sooner or later, the boys from the City of London, or the IMF, or whatever you want to call it, whatever front organization is going to, there'll be some front organization that will be successful in convincing enough people in Hungary and Poland, et cetera, to join the Eurozone. And it's going to be gay pride parades down the middle of the fucking street in Budapest. And, fucking, what's his name? Catboy and fucking Andrew Twat will be able to fucking skip down the road together. But there's no end to how bad it can be, right? And there are numbers like you can't even imagine. You just fucking can't imagine. And in the meantime, while people are worried about stupid shit, where's the really one? Where's the really one that I really want? We have people doing a couple of things. We have people doing a couple of things. There are people. Looking to find out just who Satoshi Nakamoto really is, right? Someone has sent $1.2 million to the Bitcoin Genesis wallet, which is the first wallet ever created, the one that Satoshi created that has 800,000 Bitcoin in it. And someone just decided to send that wallet $1.2 million. That seems awfully generous. And if you look at this one, this same story, is Satoshi Nakamoto back? Bitcoin worth over $1 million moved to his wallet. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I said that, it's a cryptic message and 2024 is going to be the year that Satoshi Nakamoto is going to be revealed. Well, that's extremely unlikely, but the federal government, the U.S. federal government, is trying to find out who this person is. This is a very real attempt to shut Bitcoin down. This is a very, very real attempt to shut Bitcoin down. And I don't think it's going to work. In fact, I know it's not going to work because one, it has to be a government agency because no one else throws around $1.2 million. Like no individual is going to do that. And they don't say which individual did that, right? It's just, this wallet sent $1.2 million to that wallet. You know what I mean? And if you go through those articles, if you don't report that you received $1.2 million worth of Bitcoin, then the IRS is going to come out. So, this is all a setup to unleash every fucking resource of the U.S. federal government to find out if there is an individual called Satoshi Nakamoto, or if there's an individual who uses the alias of Satoshi Nakamoto. And this is all designed to destroy Bitcoin. And I guarantee you, it ain't gonna fucking work. One of the things that used to piss me off a lot when I first got into this is people would post on fucking message boards, "Oh, this is good for Bitcoin. This is good for Bitcoin." Doesn't matter what it was. Bitcoin was up. This is good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin was down. This is good for Bitcoin. And it used to irritate the shit out of me. But I understand it better now, because what I understand now is all of this has to happen. All of this must happen in order for us to take over the fucking world. There is no way that Bitcoin replaces the US dollar unless it overcomes all of these fucking challenges. And last week or the other week, I pointed out that there were these phony live streams of these phony, live streams with Michael Saylor. Well, guess what? They took the whole live stream, they shrunk it down to 2 minutes, and I actually copied the video. So I'm going to show you the video. But Michael Saylor, the most famous public Bitcoiner there is, claims that he has his personal staff, because mind you, he's a billionaire. His personal staff reports to Google 80 times a day. That's 80 times a day, phony accounts that claim to be Michael Saylor or claim to be his company, MicroStrategy. So here's a deep fake, probably written by our friend, Sam, Sam the gay guy and his husband. This is what a deep fake looks like. To be honest, it's really not that good, but it's somehow, not only does this get back onto Google time and time again, but it always seems to pop up. I'm guessing it seems to pop up in my feed, my YouTube feed a lot. And I guarantee you, other people, anybody who looks at Bitcoin content or looks at crypto content, this is going to be stuck into their face. And it's the oldest scam in the world. Here it is, 2 minutes.
Esteemed colleagues and crypto enthusiasts, I'm Michael Saylor, the guiding force behind MicroStrategy. Today marks a pivotal moment in our journey and a significant turning point for every Bitcoin advocate globally as we step into a post-bear market era. This period has been a testament to the resilience and commitment of the Bitcoin community, whose steadfast belief in the potential of cryptocurrency has been unwavering, even in the toughest of times. In recognition of your loyalty and to celebrate this new chapter, we're thrilled to unveil an extraordinary event, the MicroStrategy Mega Crypto Giveaway. We're distributing an unprecedented 1 million Ethereum and 5,000 Bitcoin to our loyal community members. Here's your chance to amplify your investment. Keep an eye out for the QR code nestled in the top right corner of this video. A quick scan will lead you to our dedicated portal, a gateway to this grand opportunity. Upon reaching our site, you'll find a specific address. You can send anywhere from 0.1 Ethereum or Bitcoin up to a maximum of $1,000 Ethereum and 100 Bitcoin. The magic happens almost instantly. Within 5 minutes of your transaction, your wallet will receive twice the amount you sent. This initiative is more than a promotion. It's a heartfelt thank you to everyone who has been with us, sharing our vision and fueling the Bitcoin revolution. It's because of your unwavering support that we stand strong today. We're committed to fostering a thriving community where every member prospers. Your participation in this journey has been invaluable, and we invite you to continue on this path of discovery and growth with us. Remember, the pool is 1 million Ethereum and 5,000 Bitcoin, and it's waiting to be claimed. Act swiftly. Your chance to be part of this historic giveaway is now.
So that's a deep fake telling you, send us 1 Bitcoin, we'll send you back 2. And you know what? It works. It's worked in the past. It works on a lot more people than you think. It plays on human greed, and people, who bought Bitcoin, to make real money off it, will lose everything. And amazingly, that video gets on YouTube. It gets past it gets past all their fucking security systems, and it gets past, it snakes its way through the fucking algorithm and gets right in front of the intended audience every fucking time, 80 times a day. Google can't seem to stop it. Now, if you believe that, you're beyond fucking naive. You have to understand that there are forces you can't see that are trying to literally get fucking every fucking piece of Bitcoin they possibly can from anywhere. Google is a deep state company, and they are actively involved in this. Now, what's Saylor going to do? That's such a shitty deep fake. The voice sort of does sound like him, but you can see the rest. Like, there's no normal head movement. He says a bunch of ridiculous things that he never says. But if you don't know, you're gonna get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked. So understand that this isn't going to stop until it's made to stop, and that's why it's things like that. And I reported that ad, and you can't download it anymore. But I luckily I did grab it before they modified, so I could show you guys. But this is the type of thing that will be put in front of young, naive people who looking for a brighter future, looking for more opportunity, looking for a better life. They bought X amount of dollars of whatever of Bitcoin, and now, that's that Michael Saylor guy. He said if I send him 1, he'll send me back 2. And you know what? They're gonna send out their Bitcoin, and they're never getting anything back. You're gonna get robbed. You voluntarily just gave away the most valuable digital property in human history, and they're not giving it back. No refunds, kid. He says, "I'll scan the QR code in the upper end of you scan any QR code onto your phone, you literally have given up everything on your phone. Like you've bypassed every security feature there is by downloading anything off a QR code. QR codes are a bad idea. Do not scan them with your phone. There's all sorts of bad shit's going to be loaded onto your phone or your computer, maybe all your devices. If they're connected, if your phone's connected to your laptop, to your home computer, whatever, via Wi-Fi, you're going to have massive fucking problems. You're going to have massive problems. However, we will move forward. We always move forward, and things go our way. I got a 29-second video of our friends in the United Arab Emirates who have understood that 1930s politics is not the way forward. The way forward is this. Mining Bitcoin in the desert heat in steel containers in the United Arab Emirates. We are winning everywhere. And when the US dollar goes the way of the Hungarian pengo or whatever the fuck that thing was called, you know, you're going to want to be holding something that's not US dollars. How close are we to that? I don't know. I got a 19-second video of something that this is what's happening at the state level. Lord knows what is happening at the federal level. But I drive to Maine every now and then, and I did not know this. This is something, to be honest, I wish I could get in on.
Its developer says a dozen one-bedroom and a dozen two-bedroom units are complete so far.
It's an adjustment for them.
Rent will be paid for the first 2 years using state funds approved by the legislature. Once tenants can start working, they need to pay 30% of their income to rent.
So the state of Maine is building brand new housing for illegal immigrants and letting them stay there for 2 years rent-free. When they do get a job, they will have to pay 30% of their income, whatever that is. That's going to be a sliding scale, right? Whatever their income is. So if they're flipping burgers for, you know, $7.50 an hour, you know, one third of that is going to have to go to their rent. You know, 1/3 of their McDonald's paycheck, and they're going to be living in brand new housing. And this is at the state level. How widespread is this? How in, you know, I don't know. But this is in Maine. Now, part of the reason why the rents they're giving free rent for 2 years because it's fucking cold. And a lot of these warm weather immigrants not going to want to go up there. But trust me, you know, the free shit army will go to where the free shit is. And you need to understand that this is unstoppable, right? The reason why the legislature of Maine can get away with this is because they have all the fucking money. They have access to the public treasury. They have all the money they want. And if they don't have enough money, they'll borrow money in your fucking name, right? And tax you to pay back the fucking loan. There's no way to fix this shit other than Bitcoin. There's no fixing this shit. You could throw up your little fascist salute. You could do this. You could do. There's no fixing it. You got to let it die. You got to stay really focused on what it is you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and not be distracted. So anyway, last week, the other thing I was talking about this comedian, this black dude named Cat Williams, who really is a very funny comedian, a very talented guy. I like him a lot. But oh man, he kind of went super viral on the internet. I think the interview we did got like 50 million views or something already. But he did another one, and here's a clip. Here's in honor of Martin Luther King, in honor of Michael King Jr. Here's a clip of Cat Williams, you know, keeping it real with, I don't know, some brother.
You probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. No, just the nose. Because it's a brand. It's a brand.
You know what? I said nice things about the guy, and then what happens a week later? He goes full on, unironically, we was kanks. This is what happens when you're a pint-sized pothead with too much time and too much money. But I still say he's worth seeing his stuff on YouTube. He's a very funny guy, very entertaining. But he talks about being oppressed. He's, our oppressors. And so I was curious just how oppressed is Mr. Williams. So Mr. Williams, in honor of Michael King Jr. Day, would you please let us know, give us some understanding of just how oppressed you really are?
See, I seen your stuff on social media, boy. I know what you do, but you do it for play. If you do it for real, here it is, Kevin. I got a show at your hometown in Philly. I'm gonna take my special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your ass dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes. I'll be bringing mine in cash, Mitch. Bring yours however you want. And since you're not a puppet, don't bring no white people with you then. That's a $5 million bet individually. You can take it all, or you can take it part and parcel. This is the new movement. Hey, and tell them plastic cup boys, we make enough money to drink out of real glassware.
So hopefully now you've been educated, you've been enlightened as to what oppression looks like. It looks like a black Lamborghini. It looks like a luxury motor coach. It looks like somebody clubbed a baby seal to make a coat for Mr. Williams. He's wearing like the skin of an entire baby seal, which was probably racist anyway. That's why they clubbed it. But they made it into a coat for him, and then he gets into a private jet and flies off to Philadelphia or wherever he goes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the very definition of oppression. Luciano Villas Boas, I haven't seen you since last week. Didn't do extravaganza. Yeah, well, the point of MLK Day, Judas Chai in the chat pointing out that when Hebrews desecrate idols, their custom is to face the nose. That is correct. It was done quite commonly throughout classical Greece and Rome. Many marble statues were had their noses broken off and crosses carved into their heads in the early days of Christianity. Oops. Okay, I did a little fat finger thing there. I put stuff up that I don't always want to really show, and then there's other shit that I think I put up that I didn't fucking put up. But you're living in an insane fucking world where multimillionaire, I think we're about to lose power where that was weird. Where you're living in the same world where multimillionaire Negroes. Oh, look at that again with the. Wait a minute. That was twice that happened. It makes me wonder. What's going on behind the scenes. Now, somewhere there's a fucking electronic transformer that's about to go out. And I'll be doing the show in the dark in 2 seconds. Because it's kind of cold out. It's like 20s, like low 20s for the overnight temps. And there was like a dusting of snow, but it wasn't that much snow. You live in a crazy, insane fucking world where multi-millionaire black dudes challenge each other to boxing matches to settle some fucking perceived disrespect because one guy's more successful than the other in Hollywood. This is, and people, and this is a spectacle, and everybody's paying attention to the spectacle. But it's the reason why the message I have doesn't get very far is because it can't compete with the likes of Cat Williams versus Kevin Hart in a boxing match or a rap battle or a fucking whatever, or a basketball court. Can you imagine 2 midgety black guys both trying to fucking play basketball? And like, the reason why basketball is played by fucking 6'10" black dudes is because they make it interesting to watch. They're like super athletic, not little 5'5" the brothers, the whatever, the brothers who are half pints don't really have what it takes to make an interesting fucking game, with the exception of LeBron. But I got a video. This is one of those farming outrage kind of, it's outrage farming video. It's about a minute, but it's all pretty well done. And I thought, yeah, this kind of fits, in with the where are we going? Because it shows you where we've been recently, and where we're going is probably not going to be much better.
You live in a country where a man a porn star while his wife was pregnant and he was still elected president. You live in a country where a man transitioned to become a woman after winning a decathlon in 1980, and then after doing so, runs over someone, them, runs over a second person, and 4 months later is named Woman of the Year. You live in a country where a man spends 15 months in prison for securities fraud. In a movie they make about him, he punches his wife in the stomach and then kidnaps his own child. And all of you love that movie because I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. It's The Wolf of Wall Street. You guys know who is the face of prison reform in the United States? Who is it? Kim Kardashian, who made a sex tape, is the face of prison reform. If you don't believe me, Google right now Kim Kardashian standing next to President Trump having legislation signed while she's in the Oval Office. She made a sex tape where she was having sex with Ray J, and now she's getting legislation passed, and you're worried about a meme that you're supposed to post.
And well, that man has a point. Don't worry. Don't sweat the small stuff, because there's a lot of shit that's crazy out of control, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, and there's nothing you can even do to deflect it. You have to focus on what's going to work for you to fix your life. Particularly, what's his name? Luciano Villas-Boas was here last week with Cucamonga, and they were having an IQ conversation. And it really, you remember, I'm like, why are you fucking focused on this, blah, 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 blah. And I kind of realized, because it was bothering me even the next day. I'm like, what the fuck are they having? That's the stupidest fucking conversation ever. Why are you talking about IQ? They're not talking about IQ like saying, oh, by the way, my IQ is X and theirs is X, or an IQ of X creates a culture where blankety blank, because none of that means shit. That doesn't mean anything. High IQ people have not stopped central banking from taking over the world, right? There was thing zero that you did. You did fucking nothing. But they keep insisting IQ this, who has this IQ? What's the average IQ here? And it was just bothering the fuck out of me. I'm like, well, why is that? And then I realized that it's not about IQ. It's not about measuring the intellectual accomplishments of this group or that group, because then you would have to actually measure who did more engineering feats, who did more mathematical tricks, who did, like, you would have to fucking measure that, and you would come to a final conclusion. But the IQ conversation is a coded conversation for homosexuals. That's what it's got to be, because there's no other point in having a conversation so stupid and infuriating. But these people who, and I have sympathy for them as children, that were raped as children. You know, they're just in an abject state of fucking misery all day, every day, and they try to transfer that onto other people in whatever way they can. And that's what Mr. Villas-Boas was doing. That's what Kuchalanga was doing. So, I mean, it seems fairly obvious. In future, you start saying IQ this or IQ that in the chat, insta-ban. I don't give a fuck. You literally don't get to say that. This is my little electronic clubhouse, and I decide what gets heard and what doesn't get heard. So with that, I got my favorite self-help bro. I'm trying to stay positive. 2024, the year of positivity. So let's go. Let's say, here's one weird fucking trick to fix your life.
This one realization has increased my quality of life more than anything else I ever learned. If you're new here, I'm a former people pleaser and recovered alcoholic, and I help people beat both. When I stopped believing that my trauma was special, that my problems were somehow different than everybody else's, I was forced to reconcile the idea that every choice I make is my responsibility. That even when certain things are not my fault, I have to choose how I'll react, which means I get to choose my path, which means ultimately I'm completely free. Hope this helps.
That guy's name is Nick Pollard, and he makes a really good point. Shit happened to you that you had no control over, that wasn't your fault, and you use that as an excuse to do things you're not proud of today, to live in a way that, you know, you fills you with self-loathing, and to behave in ways that are, you know, that are negative, right? And because you think that what happened to you was unique, and it really wasn't. You know what I mean? I swear I have tremendous sympathy for you, because I was very close to that situation once, a long time ago in my life. Nothing happened to me, but this has happened to a lot of boys. This has happened to a lot of fucking boys, right? This has happened in the fucking Chabad Lubavitch headquarters not that fucking long ago. You can't go backwards. You can't make that not happen, but you can change how you respond to that. And this guy, of all the people I've ever heard talk about these sorts of things, this guy to me makes the absolute most sense. I got one more quick video of him, 46 seconds, and I really think a lot of people need to hear this, because you were not meant to live the way you're living. You were meant to be free and happy. Believe me when I tell you.
Calling something a trauma response didn't make it acceptable behavior. But I could no longer use my traumas as a get-out-of-jail-free card for all the shitty behavior and things I didn't want to deal with. I am, regardless of my past, responsible for how I show up in the world today. Every single awful thing that ever happened to me might not have been my fault, but it is definitely my responsibility to deal with it. And that all sounds like shit until you realize that doing it gives you back your agency. Gives you back your element of choice to decide what's worth doing and what's not worth doing. Who you want to be and what dreams you want to chase. I have a moral and ethical responsibility to live up to my potential, to at least attempt to be the very best version of me that I can be. And that responsibility gave me meaning and purpose, and that's when I took my life back. Hope this helps.
And that's what a lot of people need to hear. Too many people are caught up in stuff that, again, wasn't their fault, but you still have to deal with. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But other people have done it. Other people have overcome this, and you can do it too, right? If other people can do it, you can do it. If other human beings can do it, you can do it. And there's no circumstance that someone else has not faced, which is as bad as yours, or maybe even worse. So, like this guy says, when you start thinking this way, when you start looking at your life this way, your life gets worse in the short run. In the short run, it actually gets worse, but in the long run, it frees you. And that's one type of freedom that's really fucking important. It's really important. The other part, which I talk about all the time, is financial freedom, is not being robbed by a small group of people in a central bank or in some faraway city. You know, that the value of what you create in this life should not be stolen from you. And I've given every example 100 times that trusting other people to keep the money valuable hasn't worked. Didn't work in Hungary, didn't work in Zimbabwe, didn't work in Weimar. It's not working in America. So what you can do right now is start changing your behavior, right? And you'll start changing not only your present, but your future. For 2024, I'm trying to be more positive. There's a lot of fun, good stuff to look forward to, including weird spectacles, not weird spectacles, but big spectacles, and the kind of shit that I like. This is coming up in the very next month. Supposedly this is actually going to happen. This is, I got a quick 21-second video, and I'll explain to you. If you don't recognize who's in it, I will tell you what's up. In case you don't recognize who that guy in the red shirt is, that is Brian Shaw, 4-time world's strongest man and 1-time strongest man on earth. He will be fighting in an MMA tournament in Dubai next month. There's going to be 4 guys, 3 of whom were at one point world's strongest man. They're all training for an MMA elimination bout. So the first 2 fighters fight, and then whoever wins that goes on to fight the second set. And the contract has been signed. This is going to be this is not all that's going on. It's going to be a huge MMA show. Supposedly, if it goes off, that's going to rival anything that the UFC has ever seen. It's going to be all sorts of weight classes. But for those guys, the strongman dudes, everybody knows they're not pro fighters. They only have like 4 months to get ready for this. But yeah, a guy who's 6'9", Brian is going to be fighting a guy who's 6'8" and like 350 pounds. Brian himself is 6'9" and like 4'10" or 4'15". So talk about fucking clash of the titans, bro. This is going to be insane. And I think it's all going to be streamed for free on YouTube. It's going to be wild. The 2020s are the roaring 20s. There will be all sorts of insane spectacles as we move through this American Weimar period, right? This American period of higher and higher inflation, leading ultimately to hyperinflation. And the spectacles, either intentionally or otherwise, will just grow in intensity and strangeness, and the fascination level will just go higher and higher and higher. For me, I like combat sports. I like strength athletes. Somebody's found a way to combine the two of them. That to me means Christmas comes in February. That's the Valentine's Day for dudes. You know what I mean? It's Valentine's Day for bros. But that is where we are. What am I doing? I'm at 1 hour and 14 minutes with at least 4 viewers and more to come. So understand that you have to fix your own life. No one's going to fix it for you. You say IQ, anything, this and that, ever again, in my fucking chat, insta-ban. And you can go be an irritating homosexual somewhere else with someone else. Go to Luke Ford stream, or go to fucking whatever, Norman Hobbs, or any one of those homo shows. That behavior will not be tolerated. So that's that. And so whatever. Happy Michael King Jr. Day, everybody. Hope you had some grape soda, and I hope you had some grape soda and some biscuits or whatever the fuck. And for everyone in the chat, for all the lurkers, for everyone that's already smashed up the like button, and for those of you who will smash up the like button in the future, thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you guys again next week.